But man, it was just one of those scenes where that scene comes up and he's like, you were never God, you were never a man. And he's like, and he said, like, I'm gonna make you bleed. It's that whole theme that Zach loves to do with gods and man, where he's like, man has to show that God can bleed, right?
The man can overcome the God. Yeah.
But Bruce, this is like really the first time Bruce is like about to take a life, like full on murder somebody. Rather than like a dude is in his way, and if they just happen to blow up because they were
collateral damage, whatever.
Collateral damage, that's their fault. And here, that moment when Superman, what can he possibly say to stop this man who has just the rage in his eyes to end this dude? And the one thing he can say is, "Please save Martha, save my mom."
Save my mom. Yeah.
And see, but that was the criticism. I do want to highlight that was the criticism, is that he said save Martha instead of save my mom, because see, and we've talked about this, how today's audience needs to be fucking spoon fed everything, every little detail. But if you paid attention in the story, you already knew that Superman knew that Batman was Bruce Wayne. You don't think that Clark Kent, an investigative journalist, wouldn't do the connections and realize like that was his parents, Martha and what was the dad's name? Martha and Thomas, Martha and Thomas Wayne. So like Superman, Clark Kent would, because I know they expand on it in the extended cut, because you actually do see Superman go to Gotham and talk to the people of Gotham. He's really doing his background work on Batman and Bruce Wayne. But you have to understand, in that moment, Superman had already done all that work. He knows that this is Bruce Wayne. He knows who Bruce Wayne's mother is. So he's going to say what he thinks is going to get the reaction that he needs, which is why I thought it was so brilliantly done.
Absolutely. But it's also just that moment where does it take Bruce in that moment? It takes him to the place where he sees his parents die. And it's that he sees it through the point of view that he's now the killer, that he's the one with the gun. Holy shit, that is like such a heavy theme. Like Batman finally, he's about to full on murder this dude, and what stops him is that he realizes in that moment, I'm the one taking someone away. I'm the one taking away.
And he's seeing himself as like in Superman in that moment, because what he's seeing is everything he went through in that first scene of the movie where his parents died. He was helpless. He needed help. He was crying for help for someone to save his parents. Nobody would, so that's the beauty in it, man. It's such a beautiful, the most powerful Batman scene I think I've ever seen on film.
Absolutely. Man. And the details that Zach does, this is what he's so good about. He doesn't always need to say it. Sometimes it's visual of what he does. But in this case, he did kind of say it, and he kept bringing it up. If you listen closely, every time Batman talks or Bruce Wayne talks about Superman, it's always he's an alien. He's not of this earth. He is not a human. He is not a person. He is an alien who can destroy our world if we don't put him in chains, basically. That's important because that says Batman's dehumanizing this guy, but it's in this moment where he is no longer an alien. He's no longer this god
because he's got a mother, exactly, and that was what made him realize, like, holy shit, like I'm making the wrong choice here.
Even without the director's cut, those extra 30 minutes, I remember walking out of the theater knowing that this right here, I witnessed something special. This film was on another level, and God, did it hurt so much to see the reaction that you got from people who clearly just didn't pay attention. It's like they came in with previews on it, that they
had their preconceived conception of what the film was going to be in their head. You know what I mean? Exactly. I don't think they were expecting the piece of art that we got. What they were expecting was that blockbuster corporate style, film. That's what they were expecting. Instead, they got served a beautiful fucking steak dinner, a beautiful piece of fucking art done by a master chef, but they wanted McDonald's. They didn't recognize it. It's like, no, we're used to McDonald's. We want McDonald's. Like,
apparently, Why have the Wagyu beef when you could just have some
rump roast?
So, all right. So, we're gonna move on to our next topic, but before that, Rox, anything else you want to ask Corey or Trey?
No, man, I that was awesome, man. Thank you guys for sharing that. You know, it's nice to be able to.
I did want to ask one last. I didn't remember. So the Bat Channel. How did the Bat
That's
Channel
right.
start?
That's
That's an
right.
important
My
question.
apologies.
How did
the BBS, that's always something that we just all jump on, right? Because it's so controversial. So yeah, the Bat Channel. Thank you for reminding me, Cassell. So the Bat Channel, for the longest time, so many people were saying, like, Trey, you need to do a YouTube channel. You need to do a YouTube channel. You got a personality. You know so much
the
about
same
movies,
thing with us?
right? And even Corey was like, he was pushing so hard. My dad, who did television, was pushing really hard for me to do it. And it wasn't until COVID hit and everything got furloughed, or locked down, and I got furloughed. So I was like just sitting there twiddling my thumbs, and I was like, what am I gonna do? But there was that push. At first, when I went to go see the Justice League movie in 2017, I walked out of the theater like a lot of people, kind of going like, there's something weird going on with that. I didn't feel like Zack Snyder's. And then not a month later, I think it was like at the end of December, or early January, I heard about the group of cosplayers that actually went to Warner Brothers with the whole release the Snyder Cut banner. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Like Snyder Cut? Like what is this? Like that was a Snyder Cut. I do some research and I was like, oh shit, no, there's so much that went on with it. So yeah, I was one of the foot soldiers, as I like to say. I was the one pushing, not exactly a leader of the group, but someone who was always there for every trending event from the beginning.
You're doing the groundwork, man. That's we need more people that do that groundwork, man. So
absolutely. Well, it wasn't until where I was kind of like, I saw so many people like having a voice in it and being furloughed. I was kind of like, well, I kind of want to have a voice in this now too. I want to be there in the thick of it. And also, like, one thing that Corey and I were always adamant about is we wanted to really put eyes and focus on, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention for obvious reasons, and things like Feeding America. So we just decided to pull the trigger one day, and it made sense to call ourselves the Bat Channel just because, Adam West being kind of like my first interaction with Batman because of my dad, same bat time, same Bat Channel, and that was going to be the slogan. So there we were. Well, Corey was going to be my video editor, and he has been. All of a sudden it was like, well, Trey, time to do a live show. And I was like, okay, well then you have to be with me, because I don't know if I could do it by myself. I'm a little weird.
That's such a similar dynamic that I had with Phil and Charles, because I said to them before we started the Lethal Geeks, man, like, I've wanted to do a YouTube channel and a live show for years, but I'm like, I can't do it by myself. It's boring to be up here by yourself talking to a camera. It's the fact that we bring on guests. I got my co-hosts. It's like we all bounce off each other. We all work off each other. It just makes the
process. We laugh, have a good time,
have a real conversation. Have conversations with people instead of yourself. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I totally get that.
And that's really, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I'm similar to you, that I wanted to be a voice because I was in the background during the Snyder release, the Snyder Cut days, and I pretty much when Cell started to happen, that's when I decided, you know what, I want to participate more in the community because I want my voice to be heard. At no point in time, and still at this point in time, I am not interested in clout. I'm not interested in controlling narratives or try to convince all you out there, no, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. No, I say my point of view. If you agree with it, great. If you don't, all good. But that was one of the things that also us as a team, we wanted. The main thing was to bring people together, bring fandom together
from all sections of like
every section.
Because that's the thing, is like the DC fandom is so fractured. We need a place where everybody will feel, and I'm not when it comes to like these political terms, I hate using them, but we need a place where everybody will feel safe to bring their opinions to. Whether it doesn't matter what side of the fandom you're on, we want to know what you think. We value your opinion, so everyone is welcome here. That was always our mentality going forward.
And I love that. I mean, one of the coolest thing, guys, and it's so weird to kind of be in this position with the Bat Channel, because if there's one thing that the Bat Channel has afforded us in terms of an experience is, one, the amount of support and money Corey and I have been able to raise with our community for the American Foundation for Feeding America. Corey, I think, are we at 2K now for feeding? Sorry, not feeding.
Wow.
AFSP.
AFSP, yeah.
I think so. And then I know we were at like $300 for Feeding America with the Make the Batflick team when we were doing stuff with them. And then we just recently raised like another $200 for the Red Cross for the whole Twister disaster that they were doing. And so, I mean, that's cool. Like to have a voice in helping people is awesome. But the other cool thing is the community that you get to build with you guys, with everyone. Like, and for people who were maybe we were the foot soldiers, right? We weren't the ones that had the voice at that time. And it was Ping Pong Flicks, it was Fatal J, some of the other cats, you know. And then you had this new group come in, you know, with Syl, us, and Sky. And I even remember Sky. I remember Sky the first time Sky showed up on Syl's show, and he was just like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about doing a YouTube channel." And I got to do something that Fatal J actually did for me at the time. Which Fatal J, when I was like, I posted on Twitter, no one knew who I was. I was just Trey Austin Music on Twitter, you know, supporting the Snyder Cut. I was like, hey, guys,
and don't forget this individual also. Mikey
and Mikey, Mikey was obviously the main thing that put us together, right?
We honor Mikey every stream. We're gonna keep doing it because that man was our Papa Bear. I don't care if you liked him or hated him. He was this community's Papa Bear. Shout out to you, Mikey Sutton. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, brother. Miss that guy.
You guys actually interviewed Mikey also once, and I think on your channel.
I didn't know that. So you guys actually have gotten to talk to Mike. Man,
Mikey,
that sounds odd. Dude, I wanted to work with Mikey so bad. I remember when I first got started within the community, I was doing a lot of graphics, graphics for the trending events. You know, I reached out to Sky and I reached out to Leon, and I was doing a bunch of graphics for them, for their trending events, the posters for all their trending events. That's kind of how I ended up getting my foot in the door with the community. And then, you know, Phil eventually reached out to me when it came to doing this, and he presented me with an idea, and I said, no, your idea is garbage. I'm going to present you with an idea. And then you still have that logo. I don't think I do. Dude. We'll find it eventually and show it
so off. Bad, dude. I was so embarrassed that I didn't keep up with that.
So I had to explain quite a bit to Phil here, but Phil is a quick learner. I will say that, and caught on to everything like so fast. So it really made this whole thing possible, is because of like. There's a level of understanding that needs to be mutual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Phil had that instantly with me, and I think that's why we were really able to turn this into. And Charles too. I got to give Charles his credit too. We all had that. Go ahead, Phil.
The beautiful thing about it, because originally, people were pushing me and Charles, because Charles and I like when we were at Syl's channel, then we would go to Zod Rider's channel. Also, shout out to Zod Rider. And everybody kept telling us, you guys, you two, like have a good dynamic between, and we do, because it literally felt like I was Riggs and he was Murtaugh.
Exactly.
You know, and the dynamic was perfect. And I was like telling Charles, you know what? We need a Leo Getz, dude. We need a Leo. Like it's just. And Rox, Rox was going to be doing all our marketing graphics. And then I was like, you know what, Rox? Fuck it. Join the party, man.
That makes me so happy to hear that. Because, it was regardless of where people are at in their relationships now, because, YouTube it's like social media. Themes break, just like our fandom, is fractured a little bit. But, I remember at the time, Fatal J, when I, posted to everyone like, hey, thinking about doing a YouTube channel, like, you got advice. Fatal J was one of the first people that was like, just do it, like just go for it. And I remember when Sky,
should we reach out to Fatal Ron?
No, I just saw something hilarious in the chat that made me.
Oh wait, I missed that.
I don't know who it is. It says Twitch, and it says, "I'm here for Rock Talks" and his sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I did put. Yeah, hold on.
I don't know who that is, but whoever it is, I love you too.
Well done, Twitch. Well done. But when Sky showed up and he said the same thing, it was like that surreal moment where I was like, I get to do that now for someone where I said the same thing. This guy is like, Sky, go for it. Just do it, brother.
Yeah.
We got you. I was like, well,
Or
you have a
Batman.
community already here that will support you.
Or
And
Batman, Retro Nerd
And
Girl.
Batman, Retro Nerd Girl, and it's you
That's been
guys.
the
Like
funnest
we've
part,
seen
yeah.
you. You
Oh,
guys were
Batman! I
there.
told Corey what movie it was. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's a love-hate relationship with me and Batman. I love him and I hate him at the same time.
Corey, where's your Christmas tree?
Dude, Christmas tree's up year-round for Batman. I leave that thing up year-round now.
Oh man, but yeah, man, it's
One
go
second,
ahead.
Callie. Send me a tweet, please. Tweet me that what you just highlighted here, please, so I can share it in the channel, in the group chat. You know which one.
All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
It's, just to wrap it up a bit, is just this is like the cool part of this journey on content creating and YouTube, is that seeing you guys do a show together now. Like I've always seen you guys around. You guys have been in the chat. You guys have shown up on some of the panels, and now to see that you guys are doing your own thing and it kicks ass, I freaking dig it. Like that, even that interview with Aaron Fisher, My Reviews, a couple weeks ago was fantastic. And,
Shout out to Aaron if you've watched it.
Yeah, it's just, that's like how freaking cool. Like sometimes you just got to sit back and like not do forget the cloud chasing. You got to be passionate about doing this stuff. But one of the coolest parts of this job is to like sit back and see the rest of the community start to like be their thing, do their thing, be a voice, and like to see you guys like rocking it. It gives me chills, man. That's freaking awesome,
dude. We appreciate that so much, man. Because like the thing is like you guys know that there's a lot of work that goes into this. You guys do it, right? Yeah. So I mean, like I the work I put in, like me and Phil, we also both have full-time jobs. We got lives outside of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of effort, and you know what? Just to get that reaction from you guys, to get that reaction from people who watch the show, it's heartwarming. So thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny when Trey said, "Oh, the Lethal Geeks want to do a show. Do you want to be a part of it?" It was immediately a yes for me. It was like, hell yeah, let me jump on that with you, because I remember your very first live stream, and like immediately right away you went over your mission, your foundation of what you want this stream to be, and the few key things I remember you talking about is creating a space for everybody, and two, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and I like. So that immediately, like, I was like, oh, that's our mission statement. That's what we align ourselves with. So like the second the invitation came to be on your show, I knew I already loved you guys from, the fandom in general, but just the way you have handled your show and your stream so far.
And we've always told people, we've always told people, like, hold us accountable. If we do something that, is not right, I expect people to say, hey, Phil, why'd you say this? Or why'd you guys do this and that? If we are wrong, we're not afraid to retract and say, you know what? We said something that we shouldn't have said. I apologize. And boom, and we move on. Because again, we're not about clout. We're not about clicks. We're not about, yes, are we going to get the clicks? Yes. Are we going to get monetized soon? Of course. But all that goes back to you guys. It goes back to the audience. It doesn't go to our pockets. It goes to you. So I appreciate that. So for that, Corey, I'm going to give you a drop and we'll move on to our next topic.